Yes, I know it's late. Um, I had a lot of shit to do this past week, including Thanksgiving. So, and yeah, now we are after. Siren calling this like a day after Thanksgiving. This is like the only shit I will get to do this video before it's running out too late. So. AEW Full Gear, as the time you're watching this happened a week and a half ago. So, AEW Full Gear 2022. You know, um, for the shows that had not had the best expectations, like, like you could tell AEW cool off a lot like when this during most of this bill through Full Gear. Like like Dynamite shows were becoming kind of questionable at times, and like after all out, it felt like a really rough time for the company when that brawl out happened between CM Punk and the Elite. So for the show that did not have the biggest expectations, this turned out to be a great show. Honestly, is it the best pay per view AEW's put on the year? I will have to check it out. I will have to check myself to see if it's like the best show, like pay per view wise, or like second at best. Um, this is like neck to neck with this and Revolution, which happened earlier this year, which was also great. And this show was a great show, and you could tell that they were hitting some reset button in certain aspects in this show, like, and they pretty much needed it after the rough months that they had coming in. So they needed that spark. They needed that energy, that excitement that they have been missing for months. And they got sort of that back with this show. The opener match, which was a steel cage between Jungle Boy Jack Perry now against Luchasaurus. And yeah, like this is surprised me. And again, like we're talking about the bill. This match, I didn't know what to expect. Like I didn't feel truly like I didn't have like I knew it was gonna be good, but I didn't think it would be this freaking good. Like at first, when like the build up was like there, I think that's mostly due because Christian, who had been carrying the load for this year, hasn't been seen in that much because of his injury. And at first with this match, at first at the openers, I did felt best. I did feel quite. I could get into it, but the more went on, I was like, "Oh, this is great!" Like they were really trying to beat the shit out of one another, and I think this is the match I've been waiting sort of for between the both of them since they've been a tag team for a long time and they have been split because of the masterminding from Christian Cage and all that stuff. So I've been waiting to like I think they had a match before this match, was one in Toronto, I think, which was good, but I was kind of expecting more, and I got that from this Metal more when I was like, this turned out to this was great. Like it told a good story. The crowd was red hot for it, and being the first match will help you do that since the crowd will be wrapped up early on to the show. So yeah, and easily the best match of Luchasaurus' career, and this true, and the finish was the finish when with Jungle Boy hitting Jungle Boy with Jungle. Why did I say Jungle Boy twice? Oh God, Jungle Boy, I think Canadian Destroyer, Luchasaurus, I think, and then I think Super King, and then hit position with the table. Jungle Boy was climbing up the cage. He was on top of it, and then hit an elbow drop through Luchasaurus through the cage from the top of to the table. Excuse me, through the table on top of the cage. Oh my God! But yeah, I when he hit it, it didn't. At first, it didn't. I thought it wasn't going to connect you. The table wins barely, and then it wistfully had the impact so it was still a cool moment, I guess. Jungle Boy elbow dropping Lucius over to a table on the top of the cage. So yeah, and Lucius and Jungle Boy pissed all the win by submission. And I knew Jungle Boy was gonna win this year, and I think they could pause this feud with Christian for a little bit and move Jungle Boy to something bigger and better. I guess because you can't keep this feud with Christian for long enough without Dragon since Christian I don't think ain't going to be clear for another several months. So yeah. The next is for the AEW Trio Championship. Death Triangle. With the champions, Pac, Ray Phoenix, and Penta Acero versus the returning Elite, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. Yeah, they're back now, and like their entrance was cool, with the theme. So that was a great song. That's a great listening. I will tell you, hearing that song was nice. I will say, and was magnific as one about to be world champion would like to say more from later on this video. So, but yeah, the song was a great listen. I recommend you listening. Yeah. And the elite coming out today was something I would say, and look here's what I will say about the elite and being back. Here's the thing, I did watch the where they mock CM Punk and all that stuff. They knew they were in Chicago. They got full of shit in Chicago. Let me tell you. So they were in Chicago and they knew the environment they were in. So yeah, if it's only a one-time thing, I'm fine with it. I know some people aren't happy with it, but they were just playing along with the crowd. They were just playing along with it. So you might as well let them play along. But yeah, but Um, I hope, I hope in the future, if something real bad happens, they fucking act like fucking leaders, like the MVPs. Like, it's still questionable if they still should even be EVPs in the first place, especially if you have talents. In maybe the future they have conflicts with someone else, and one of the wrestlers, one of your MVPs of the company. So yeah, I hope that from now on, Kenny Omega the Young could keep their kind of egos tossed to the side here. So yeah, and the match itself was pretty much what you expect between the Elite and Threat and Death Triangle. Like, yeah, like there was a lot of action, a lot of high quality action. Like, although there was some spots look to be incredibly choreographed, I think like I think I like like with I think when I was in I think it was like Nick like Metal Nick Jackson. I think it was Nick like Nick Jackson like was on the top turnbuckle with Ray Finn, and you can tell how they were. It was kind of pre-prep, but when they delivered the move, it looked spectacular. So I could feel good for the execution. They could have choreographed just a little bit better, but just a little not too choreographed. But yeah, you know what I mean. So, but this was a great match, and I believe it or not, I'm really glad of the finish since like you have the elite and you saw them what you heard and you heard them and you heard what they did in the backstage fights and all that stuff. And some things you heard CM Punk say about them, the Young Bucks came and all that stuff. Like they're like because of like what happened there, like I don't think you could have you could have let them come back and just instantly giving the title. Like you kind of basically reward them after what happened at the brawl out between them and CM Punk. Like when you really think about it, like if the Elite would just once come back and beat that triangle here, like you just like I said, you just be enabling the behavior of them and by just giving them the titles right away. Like the least you can do is at least make them work hard. Like I can say that this was definitely sort of kind of a punishment for what they did at the brawl out. So for that I'm glad, and it add to the story with like I think like Ray Phoenix like almost hitting the hammer and Pac was telling him to hit like Kenny Omega with it, and Ray refuses it. But when the Elite was about to win, and when they were about to win, that is when Ray was hitting the hammer and all that stuff. And it was kind of been building the attention since Pac, I think recent weeks, was hitting objects like some object to win matches and all that stuff. And I think Penta Serra and Raven were not opposed to it, and And you even see, even when they won a match, Ray Phoenix was still not happy with it. So it could lead to an interesting story into it. So it added to that. So that triangle somehow, some way defeated the Elite to win the trio, to retain, excuse me, the trio championships. And now they going to have the best of 7 series of matches between the both of them. And yeah, like I guess it's fine. Them doing it. I think they're gonna have to like get some each match, each of those 7 matches, like some unique feel to it, since it might kind of get boring. They just do the exact same match every week. So yeah, but so that's my only concern. But I hope they will make the best out of it. I do. So yeah. The TBS Championship, Jade Cargill versus Nia Rose, and I barely watched the match. Gonna be honest with you. Like, the storyline wasn't the most exciting, and for what for what I saw barely, it was meh. Like, probably I think this was like probably the worst match of the night by what you saw in this card. Like, it was not very good, and with Jay Cargill, like, she has the potential. You can clearly see in her. She can be capable of having good matches, but like they need to give her some better opponents. And Nia Rose, God bless her, but she ain't Edwin Jay. So yeah. So Jay Cargill retains the TBS championship. So yeah. So fail four-way for the Ring of Honor World Championship. You have Chris Jericho defending against Sammy Guevara, Brian Danielson, and Claudio Castagnoli. Um, I don't think like I don't think like it was as good as like the first 2 matches, but it was still solid by the second, and they really kicked the high gear in like the second half of the match, like with the story of Guevara not refusing, not letting laying down for Jericho, his leader, the Jericho Appreciation Society, and they really got the near falls with Daniel Castagnoli with they hit each other's finish with they hit their finisher on each other and stuff. Like they really made you believe they might be ashamed they might win the title, but wasn't meant to be. And with Claudius Castagnoli was going for the swing of Guevara, Jericho, I think he hit like the Judas effect on Claudio like twice as he hit it, but kind of barely, and then he hit on the second time. Then that was an improvised finish. And Jericho retains the All Age World title as I expected he will. I think he got submitted by Claudio the week before this, so you kind of knew Jericho was retained. But it was still a pretty solid match, I will say. So yeah, the next match, one of the feature matches, is Soraya in her AEW debut against Dr. Britt Baker. So yeah, the former page from WWE, now known as Soraya, competing in her first match in 5 years. And this going in was a big question mark. Like, could she perform competently after that much time missed from the ring? Could she hold her own in the ring without getting hurt just like that? And like, it was fine. Like, 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 it was not perfect by any means. It wasn't. It wasn't bad. It was fine, and like, I think Soraya like decides to get some flack off here. Like, I don't think there was any doubt. Like, she proud the woman has ring was, and understandably so after not much time competing in the ring many years, and I I think she only may have gotten like a few weeks of notice in training since I think she got clear like the day of Halloween, so that was like 3 weeks prior to this, so she didn't have enough time to kind of like get her groove in the ring. So yeah, so like this was her first match in 5 years, and it clearly showed in the ring. So yeah, and I think also the bill was did kind of disservice. Like, Bray Baker was going on in promos, kind of almost being the face in this, and that kind of reflecting the crowd as I didn't think they didn't know what to cheer from because you got half chanting for Soraya and half chanting for Bray Baker, so that kind of makes the crowd split in this match, which I don't think was the right crowd reaction you want to have, especially for someone Soraya who hasn't competed in the ring for many years. So yeah, but the match itself was fine, and I'm sure they will have another match way down the line and will be better since Soraya will have that by will probably by then get more experience in the ring. So yeah, so Soraya wins their first match in 5 years, and at least I'm happy that she's healthy now, that she did this match and didn't get hurt. I think that's the best thing you could possibly say about this match is that she didn't get hurt. So yeah. So Soraya wins here against Bray Bray. TNT Championship. Wardlow defending against Samoa Joe, who I think still the All Age TV champion, and Powerhouse Hobbs in a triple threat, a three-way. This was a decent. Um, this was a decent house fight for the TNT Championship. I think I wish they could have given a little bit more time to them, but for what they had, it was decent to good. And so, yeah, and Samoa Joe wins the TNT Championship. The fair was a little bit more, like I said, because of match. I don't think got much too much time, but for what it did was plausible. And yeah, Samoa Joe wins the TNT Championship. It's like Wardlow, like God, like Wardlow never felt less important wearing that TNT belt than when he wasn't having the belt. So yeah, maybe taking off the championship maybe could have been the best thing for him because he wasn't doing much with the TNT title. So yeah, and Samoa Joe got a nice reign with it, and I think Wardlow and Joe could be a good feud if they book properly. So yeah, so Samoa Joe wins the TNT Championship. The next match, Sting and Darby Allin versus Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. Yes! Sting and Jeff Jarrett in the ring in 2022. My 2022. That fucking wild slap nuts. Like, I'm telling you, 2022 it's fucking wild, ain't it? It hasn't been. And yeah, this time match, it was good, I guess. I barely was paying attention to it, but it was okay. They did. Jerry looked good out there, and I'm amazed how good he still looks. Even I think he's like 55 now, and to be this, to be this still decent to good shape, that's admirable. Man. He's had a hell of 2022. Let me tell you, like I think he went in GCW like earlier this year. Then he got a job WWE, was like the special referee for SummerSlam, and then the day after that he was in the quote unquote final match with Ric Flair. Then he got fired, and then he's now working with All Elite Wrestling. Now has a high profile pay per view match for AEW. Like man, I give the full salute to this guy. So yeah, and Sting like continues to still amazes me. Like the way that he still does it at a very old age in 2022. Like this run when all said and done, this AEW run for Sting will be a highlight in his career. In terms of like after not being much in many years in the ring, he went out there and still lose and can still go through a serviceable pace in the ring. Like that's again like that's incredible how he still does it. So yeah, it was some good stuff in this match. So Sting and Darby Allin win here. So yeah, and the next match is Iron Neck Connect between either this match or the main event. The AEW Interim Women's Championship. You had Tony Storm defending against Jamie Hayter. Wow. Like, this was another kind of shock for me. Like, these girls went out there and had probably the best AEW Women's match in a long ass time. Like, that crowd was fucking pro Jamie Hayter. They wanted her so badly for Jamie Hayter to win that title. Like Jamie Hayter, look, and Jamie Hayter third grade comes across as such a star in this match, and she really delivered the goods with Tony Storm. Like, yeah, like, and they really were hanging there in the near falls when it was thought like Jamie Hayter wasn't gonna win, but then the match got going on, and so yeah, like the crowd was really into it. Tony Storm was about to win, and then but then interference came in. I think like Red Bull came in, but she got jipped. I think like early on the match, and I think with Jamie her finish, I think she had a move. Tony still slide out of the ring, and then a curse stomp, and then it was Britt Baker. And when you thought that was it, Jamie Hayter kick out. And when 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 Britt Baker was about to help her, Tony and her kind of collided and bumped heads with each other. No, I think it was Jamie and Britt got a bump heads, but Jamie Hayter fly off and hit her finish on Tony Storm for the 1, 2, 3. Jamie Hayter is the new interim Women's World Champion, and as of the recording this video, she is now officially the Women's World Champion in AEW since Thunder Rosa has, I think, surrendered the title to the unknown amount of time she will miss in the ring. And yeah, I think they should have probably have known like beforehand, like if they didn't know how much Thunder Rosa was going to be out in the ring, they just should have vacated the belt right there and there. Like they didn't need to do this whole intro thing with the woman's style. Like they just could have vacated the belt and have what they done here with Jamie Hayter win. Like I was so happy that she won here, but like yeah, like it was like she's the champion till not really, but then she was the official champion like the not the show after. So yeah, but at least they made corrected some errors in here. So yeah, so Jamie Hayter wins. And is now officially the AEW Women's World Champion. And now I think like Tony's like the official former AEW Women's World Champion. So yeah, it was a really kick-ass match between the both ladies here. Like I really enjoyed it, and I thought I wasn't going to be too, but I did. And I think it was probably match of the night because the crowd was really in, and they kinda got burned out a bit, and you will see it in the next match for the tag team championships between the Acclaim, who are now who beat Swerve in our glory at Arthur Ashe Stadium, as I said they will be. The Acclaim now defending against the former champions Keeley and Swerve Strickland in Surf in Our Glory. The match wasn't. I don't think they recast Lightning in the Bottle like All Out did, but for what they did, this was good, I must say. So yeah, I will say that, and I will say like they kind of repeated some of like the angles here with that triangle having crisis in communication, and here with Keeley and Sir Strickland, they kind of had the same ones here. So yeah, the refusal to cheat thing, they could have not made it. They could have made clear like I think they could have made clear and just have Keeley like punch Sir Strickland just for verity and stuff. So yeah, so Keeley walk out during the match and the Acclaim retain, and yeah, like they deserve to have a long title reign, and to see that how far they came for like early on to now being one of the most overacts in the entire company, it's really fucking great to see them. And I'm glad they got to break, as we kind of know they ruled the breaking up between Key Lee and Sister, as they could have a pretty much solid feud, and Sir, I think they could have a nice feud since Sir Strickland has been one of the most underrated to me guys for this company this year. Like, he has been having some great tag team matches and with the Acclaim especially. So yeah, this was a good match. So main event time for the AEW World Championship. You have Maxwell Jacob Friedman versus the champion John Moxley. And yeah, like, you this took time. Like, the crowd was like early on pro AJ MJF and Tony Haymaster, but and it was weird with the bill. Like, they were really portraying like MJF wasn't going to see he's going to earn this victory, earn this match to capture the world title. But you knew somewhere in between that the devil inside of MJF still insisted. And I must say I was very impressed with how MJF worked a babyface style pretty much throughout this time. Like, he took an ass whooping by John Moxley, like, who flipped the crowd off. Like, like he thought in his mind, like, screw it. If I'm working here, I'm here. Like that, I'm working here. Here. Like, if like if the fans want to boo me, fuck it. I'm gonna make them boo me. So yeah, that's what happened. And this was a pretty really good match. They took their time, and I like the selling from MJF and him sort of working a babyface stuff. But once the ref goes down, you kinda knew some shit was about to go down. After there was not but two refs going down, so that was getting to be a little overboard. Then William Regal showed up, and yeah, like, he came down. Like, he told MJF not to use the Dynamite Wednesday. He said before he wasn't going to use, so he had that. And MJF throws it to the ring. And I think Moxley like hit paralyzed it and then a submission hold. And MJF taps out. But the ref was down. Like, it wasn't vision possible. So yeah. So the ref goes down. I think Bowman will lay down. I think Regal was trying to tell Mox something, but then he hands brass knuckles to MJF, and MJF, boom, hits it on John Moxley and covers for the 1, 2, 3. Maxwell Jacob Freeman MJF is the new AEW World Champion. And yeah, this was the finish that most people expected, since during the build also MJF had some interactions beforehand. And but this, like, yeah, it was the really right thing to do. And I'm so happy that they went with it and give MJF the title. Like, MJF, I think it's one of the best cases, if not the best case, of AEW building and creating a new star pretty much from scratch. Like, I think everything that they made this guy did work. The audience was ready for it, and you had some parts in the match where they got the crowd to cheer for him over Jon Moxley, and by the end he flipped them off and showed the real devil side of MJF, and he wins here. So yeah, I think the match delivered. Perfectly makes sense. A sensible swerve ending between William Regal and MJF. Who knows where they can go with William Regal and MJF's partner? If there's even a partnership between the both of them. So yeah, but MJF wins, and I think he's exactly the champion that AEW really needs right now to carry them to pretty much the next year. And I think the bidding war for 2024 storyline will in play with the run that MJF will have for the AEW World Championship. So yeah, thumbs up match, thumbs up result, and pretty much a thumbs up show. Like this, like I said early on, this was to show that AEW pretty much after all the bad press that comes to them, and pretty much heading towards some really rough times. So this was a great show. This was a really great show. So yeah, like, and I think like with this AJF star, if they built this right, this could possibly be an amazing title, and maybe if they could hold on, they wait on long. This could reach Rebels of Roman Reigns. We don't know yet, but yeah, I'm really looking for what they do in the future with MJF. So, and I really hope that they can take this momentum from this show coming out and use it for pretty much all of 2023. So yeah, so that is my thoughts and review for AEW Full Gear 2022. If you haven't watched it, like this video, subscribe here, comment what you think about this pay-per-view in the comment section below. And as always, I'm Jason Martinez, and I approve this message.